What is good, everyone? I made sure to get this one out quick, as I promised. This is the top 3 cryptids from Ohio. Number 1, Loveland Frogman. For upwards of 70 years, stories of the legendary Loveland Frogman have been told. There is even an annual Frogman Festival that takes place in Loveland. The original legend says that in 1955, a businessman was driving down a dark road in Loveland, Ohio, late one night. As he crossed the Little Miami River, he saw in the distance 3 human-like figures between 3 to 4 feet tall. As he got closer, he realized they weren't human. They had leather skin, webbed feet, and frog-like faces. They also emitted a strange odor. The man said the creatures seemed to be having a conversation, and as the man watched them, one of the creatures suddenly pulled out a wand that released a shower of sparks. The next sighting didn't come until 1972. Officer Ray Shockey was driving alongside Little Miami River one night when he spotted a creature with leather skin in the face of a frog. He said the creature was crouched down like a frog, but when it saw someone coming, it stood up on its hind legs, stared directly at the officer, and climbed over the guardrail, then it disappeared into the river. A few days later, a fellow officer, Mark Matthews, saw this same creature and shot at it. However, in 2016, Matthews came forward and confessed that it was a hoax. He did shoot something that night, but upon checking the body, it was an iguana missing its tail. It was likely someone's escaped pet. Upon showing it to Officer Shockey, he confirmed that was also what he had seen. However, that would not be the final time the Frogman would be spotted. In August 2016, during the Pokemon Go craze, a young couple, Sam Jacobs and his girlfriend, were walking toward Lake Isabella, going Pokemon hunting. What they found instead was the fabled Frogman. Sam Jacobs said, "We saw a huge frog near the water. Not in the game. This was an actual giant frog. The thing then stood up and walked on its hind legs. I realize this sounds crazy, but I swear on my grandmother's grave that this is the truth." Though the Frogman hasn't been seen since, there is always a chance it is still out there, hiding in the shadows of Loveland, Ohio. Number 2, the Lake Erie Monster. Lurking somewhere in the depths of Lake Erie is a large serpent-like creature by the name of Bessie. It is America's own version of the Loch Ness Monster. Stories of Bessie go back to a Native American legend, who called this creature Oneari. Their story talks of a horned, dragon-like snake that breathes poison. It is said to capsize boats and devour humans. The first recorded encounter of this beast was in 1793. When a man was on his sailboat duck hunting. He shot at a duck and suddenly saw a massive serpent begin thrashing around close to his boat, clearly startled by the loud gunshot. The captain said the beast was huge, well over 5 meters in length, but before he could get a better look, it was gone. Throughout the centuries, Bessie has been seen hundreds of times. Those who have seen Bessie usually describe the color as being gray or silver, and some say she has a dog-like head and large fins. But all who have seen her put her size between 5 to 15 meters long. Another story is from the 1980s, when 2 women said they encountered a serpent with large flippers. They said lucky for them the creature seemed to be playing around and not searching for its next meal. The last reported sighting is in the early 90s, when a man saw a long black object slithering in front of him while he was fishing. He said it was about 3 miles off the shore and stayed motionless for a few minutes. Has Bessie disappeared from the waters of Lake Erie, or is she just waiting for the perfect moment to show herself once again? Number 3, the Grassman. The Grassman is Ohio's own version of Bigfoot. It gets its name from the small hut-like homes that they make out of grass. It is also known as Orange Eyes, for its piercing orange eyes. They are much more aggressive than other known Bigfoot legends. They are described as having a blackish-brownish coat, being between 6 to 10 feet tall and around 350 to 500 pounds. They also emit a strong, rotten odor. The earliest known story comes from the Native Americans in the region, who spoke of a race of bipedal ape men. They referred to them as the wild ones of the woods. They would often leave food out for them in an effort to keep peace. In the 1800s, there was an encounter where a hairy bipedal creature tried to throw a man out of his carriage. The most known sighting, however, was in 1978, when Evelyn and Hal Clayton were sitting in their home. Suddenly, their grandchildren and their friends burst through the door screaming about a hairy monster in a gravel pit outside. When Evelyn and Hal went to look, it was exactly what the children described. A hairy bipedal ape man around 300 pounds sat in the pit, going through discarded trash. The Claytons fled the scene out of fear, but the Grassman wasn't done with them yet. The Claytons saw him multiple times after. One night, the Grassman was seen peering through their kitchen window. Hal ran for his gun, but when he returned, the grassman was gone. They called the police, and upon investigating, there was no ape to be found, but there were several footprints in the mud, and a terrible smell lingered in the air. A few days later, the Claytons saw the grassman on top of a hill, and a month later they saw 2 grassmen on top of that same hill. With all of these events, the Claytons came to a terrible realization. A few days before their first encounter with the grassman, their German Shepherd was found dead with its neck broken. They thought back now and wondered if it had actually been the grassman who had killed their dog. With the Clayton string of events and many other reports like it, the grassman has become a very well-known and popular cryptid in Ohio. There are sightings even to this day. So if you go walking around the woods and fields of Ohio, keep a lookout for something moving about the vast wilderness. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this content, and let me know in the comments if I missed any cryptids that you like from Ohio. The next state from my haunted series will also be revealed soon.